Mom, and I'm sure it does mean a lot to Mom to have everyone here today. If you're here, you were someone special to Mom, or you're someone special to us, her sons, daughters, grandkids, and all of that. I'd like to make a special recognition this morning of my Aunt Mary. Mary Euclid is here today, and a couple rows back on this side of the area here. And our Aunt Mary is really the last one in my mom's generation, so we're honored that you're here today. And thank you so much for coming down from Chilton, Wisconsin to be here. Growing up, we had a great set of aunts and uncles, and it was a fun crowd, and a gazillion cousins to hang out with, and just wonderful time. So we're honored that you're here, Mary. Thank you so much for coming here today. Thanks for letting me say a few words this morning. I have no intent to give a eulogy. I've heard them before. They're generally kind of depressing. I tend to be a little more cup is half full type. So I'm not going to go there too much. Rather, I want to talk about the things that I'm grateful to Mom for. Things that I appreciate that she and Dad did for me and did for us. I make these observations within the following context. I just recently turned 60. I'm kind of surprised that I've accumulated so many years. I don't really know how that happened, but anyway, I turned 60. The only consolation there is that I think with those years, maybe comes a bit of perspective. Maybe a bit of a better understanding of life, and maybe even a bit of wisdom. And so that's what I want to maybe share a little bit today. Today is about Mom, but her and Dad were a team, so I'll often refer to both Mom and Dad in my comments this morning, because much of what I appreciate is what they did together for us. Mom's life by far and away was shaped by her growing up on a Wisconsin dairy farm and her farm girl childhood. She had a sick mother. She had 6 brothers. For anyone who's a sister in this room, you probably know how horrible that experience probably was. She had a stern Belgian father, and she was a kid during the Depression and World War II. Her childhood, I don't think, was not fancy, certainly not affluent, certainly not glamorous, and was not easy. But I think the simplicity of that farming life shaped everything about her and her personality. My mom and dad were not sophisticated people. They never went to college, never had a lot of money, they weren't politically astute, they weren't well connected. Yet my mom and dad were great parents. Now that I have my own kids, I can truly appreciate what they did and how well they did it. Simply stated, they gave us a great childhood. With no small amount of nostalgia and the benefit of 50 plus years of rose-colored glasses, they gave us a childhood that was somewhere between Leave It to Beaver and the Wonder Years. We always had fun, lots of kids to play with. We were given the freedom to roam around. We were given the freedom to create and get into a lot of mischief, which we consistently did. My parents were not helicopter parents. If you had a Little League game across town in South Milwaukee and it was 3 or 4 miles away, they told you to get on your bike and get there yourself because they were too busy to take you. We never had too much, but yet we never wanted for anything we really needed. A great childhood. As a kid, I assumed that everybody had that kind of a childhood. However, as you get older, you get to know more people and start to understand things a bit better in life. You begin to realize actually how rare that is, how rare that was. And I can honestly say that I know very few people who had a childhood like that. We were lucky. So I'm very grateful to Mom and Dad for the incredible gift of a good childhood. And in giving us that kind of start, they shaped us and helped make all of us who we are today. And for that, I'm truly grateful. What I think they did for us that was so valuable is the following. By giving us a childhood that had stability, they helped us become stable people. By giving us a childhood that had freedom, they helped us to become independent. By giving us a childhood that was pretty much drama-free, we have been less inclined to have drama-filled lives as adults. They gave us an uncommon degree of common sense. In a world of chaos, they gave us a sense of calm. In a world filled with craziness and abnormality, they gave us a great degree of normality. In a turbulent world, they helped us become even-keeled. By not having much, none of us are unhealthily materialistic. By not having parents who were pretentious and who did not have a tremendous amount to brag or boast about, we grew up to be reasonably humble. By not having burdensome expectations, they allowed us to become who we are and to follow our own paths. By the same token, despite not necessarily being overachievers themselves, they surely conveyed the thought to each of us that each of us had to become something. By treating us all the same and not playing favorites, they allowed us all to like each other and to not sow the seeds of adult sibling discontent and competition that seems to plague so many families. We actually like each other, and that is a tremendous gift, a rare gift. Most importantly, by being good parents, they helped us become good parents. And that may be their greatest gift of all. Now, the nieces and nephews out there, you may disagree with our view that we're good parents. That's okay. When you're burying us in 30 years, you can tell your own story. But today, that's our story and we're sticking to it. In summary, Mom and Dad were never rich in terms of money, but they were rich in terms of family. Without any exaggeration, I think I can say that Mom, despite maybe only having, I think Mike told me this, $1,000 in the bank when Dad died, was rich because she had so much of the family around her for the last 30 years when she needed them the most. Her kids, her grandkids. There was nothing she loved more. You should all feel good about being there for her and giving her that. Last, a few things. Mike, you've done a great job in the role of the eldest son when it came to Mom. You can always feel proud, and you should always feel proud, that you discharged your promise to Dad, made many years ago, for all that you did, or to look after Mom. You were her advisor, her financial manager, her decision maker when she couldn't make a decision, the person who spoke truth to Mom when she didn't really want to hear the truth. God knows it was no easy task, but no one could have done it better. All of us are grateful for all that you did for all these years. Linda and Sue, I know Mom was both a mother and a friend to both of you. I know you will miss her on both levels. But know that no one could have meant more to her or supported her better these last 30 years. Far more than any of us boys, you two were Mom's life and favorite social network since Dad died. That meant everything to Mom. No one could have been better daughters. Tim, you were not the oldest son, so you could not play that role. You were not one of the daughters, so you could not fill that space. But over the years, you played several other roles for Mom. For a long time, you were Mom's handyman. I remember you were laying on the phone many times about how you were fixing this sink, replacing that cabinet, swapping out a toilet, or repairing some shower for Mom when she was in the old house. You also took on the role of accountant for her, keeping in track of her bills when she had trouble doing that. So thank you for being her plumber, her electrician, her carpenter, and a good son. I've pretty well gone on long enough, so I'll sit down in a second here. I thank again all of you for being here today, and I'll leave everyone with just this thought. You can be poor even if you have money, and you can be rich even if you don't. Mom was the latter. She was rich because of the people in this room today, and I am very grateful to all of you for that. Thank you.